having chaos. So I'm gonna have fun with this rant, questioning the world, man. Always. Philosopher, right? First, check out my new gear. We got this. Yeah, that's a little tight. We got this, yeah. Hematite. Copper. Clear quartz. Yes, yes. Thinking clear-headed, are we? Maybe. Does it point in the right direction? Then we have bloodstone. Supposedly, when Christ was also supposedly crucified, nailed to 2 planks of wood, walking with all-knowing intelligence right into death's doorstep, just because, you know. Anyway, supposedly his blood tripped and touched a green stone, and that's what they call bloodstone, and that's this. Okay, here's my next new toy. Lava rocks, yeah. All that lovely, practically con artistry, but there's a little truth to it, yeah. But how many benefits could lava rocks have? But anyway, lava rocks and this cool little arrowy thing. My buddy made me this one. So, what's on my mind? Stupidity, man. Of course it is. Humans. This is, I'm going to put this as much as I can in the form of questions and encourage you, should you choose to leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. There are no right or wrong answers, or I wouldn't ask you, I'd ask me, right? Quite similarly, let's use that to segue into a beginning here. Alright, so, why do you choose to spend time around somebody? Okay, fill in your answers, think it to yourself, you don't need to send me those. Okay, now let's say, the person exhibits traits that you don't enjoy. Ask yourself again, fill in your mental blanks. Why do you choose to spend time with this person? You know, because I find judgment to be very common among humans. It's very interesting. No matter what you have to provide, how many shapes you take, how forgiving, compassionate, understanding, or even on the opposite, aggressive, sadistic, or is that the right word? You know, sadist is to hurt yourself. No, I had that right. Sadist is certain others, masochist is certain yourself. But no matter what shape you take for people, which probably will constantly change because people's needs change, it's never good enough. Can't be, because people aren't good enough for themselves yet, is what I'm learning. I think that's the answer to this. If someone says I care about you in any kind of fucking angle of care or love, do that. Do they care about you? Or do they care about what you can do? Or do they care about the fact that your position in life is better than their position in life? Check it. I love you, but you're an asshole. I love my asshole. Nobody said that to me. It's just an example. Because people talk like that. Do you? I love you, but? What do you mean, but? Wasn't love, with most of you noobs' descriptions of it, all-encompassing? So tell me, how do you fall out of love then? Doesn't happen, does it? Or does it? Then you never loved. You never appreciated what? You never all-encompassed like that for the thing over there. I give people this metaphor all the time. I could admire a flower without plucking it from the ground. Man, that's the whole flower. But as soon as you pluck it from the ground and you try to own it, change it, decide what to use it for, put it in some tea, it's different now. You're no longer really admiring the fucking flower. You're admiring what the flower can do for you. And you're selfish ass. That's not love. That's not all-encompassing. That's not appreciation of any sort. That's greed. That's lust and desire. I need more, and it's all for me. It's selfish and stupid as fuck. So, I've begun to meditate on this. Why people choose to spend time around. And this doesn't go for people, this goes for items as well. Toxicity. Why do people choose to spend time around toxicity? And the only reasonable answer that I can come up with is addiction. You know, caffeine can be toxic. We can be addicted to it. We'll keep it around. It seems to have blessings and detriments to it. Good things and bad things that come with this. But our addiction, or our fascination with it, continues to do that. Perhaps it's the same for people as well then. You know, but and I'm back. And with French fries, rallies. Anyway, I believe where we were. And that was good. Was why do you choose to spend time around toxicity? People people, for example. This is inspired partly by romance and partly by friendships, because it seems to be common. You know, love and hate, man, is crazy. It's like the same energy. It's called passion. And passion is channeled down different riverbanks, expressed in different ways to grow different plants to fruition, right? One of those banks is hate. Detest, right? One of those banks is love, appreciation, enjoyment, satisfaction, Okay, so it's kind of the same emotion, just choosing how we use it, how we tweak it, what we apply this passion toward. Hate or love. So the question, I think, is if you're so unhappy, if the world is wrong, because here's how people act. You did this, this, and this, and you said this, this, and this, and I'm never gonna, and then they do, again, whatever that blank is. If you feel so strongly, take me, for example, because this is somewhat loosely connected to my life, this topic. If I'm a monster, if I'm an unenjoyable experience of any kind, go. Disappear. Don't deal with me. I'm not good for you. Shouldn't that make sense? If I am difficult and you don't like hard difficulty setting when playing video games, go the fuck away. That makes sense, right? If I am, especially if you're a female, if I am a long list of shit to be unhappy about, what the fuck are you doing? There's a guy out there that's way easy difficulty mode that has whatever. You can do whatever you want there and be just a little bit happier, a little bit easier anyway. Maybe not happier, because often people think that they know what they want, but don't. And wants and needs are also not the same thing. But my question is, why the fuck would you bother? Why would you bother? I bother because I have no ultimate need for other people. I don't think other people will have this unique set of perspectives. I bother because, what are you going to do, hurt me? Say some nasty shit? Oh, no! And it might temporarily hurt, sure. That's some nasty shit. But in the long run, they're words. They're empty statements. And just like this long list of hate that you're giving me, right? That means your list of love disappears too. Your words become empty and meaningless. Doing it what it is that you're doing here. And if that's the case, if you don't know, and I know that you don't know, I can find some comfort in that. I know you don't know if you love or if you hate. What's good for you, what's bad for you. Because if this isn't an unenjoyable time and you're willingly tuning in on repeat, let's do it again, I've learned nothing. Clearly you don't know what is going to bring you joy then, which is why I profess so strongly and so often that business relationships are more important than anything. Now that's including inside of your romance relationship. Your partner, look at that word we use, partner. Your partner should be a part of you, a gear inside the machine that is the both of you combined, working, clanking, twisting together to bring forth your fucking goals, right? A business partner has goals. They have something, whether you exist in their life or not, that they are working towards step by step to get to a location or an item, satisfaction avenue. You know, they are working towards something. That's business. Business is having a goal and doing steps to make it toward that goal. Love, real love, is all-encompassing. Most people don't have that. They have obsession instead. Don't know about you, but it sucks to keep slowing down for even a friend's love, right? That's supposed to be a handshake. Don't know why I did it that way. To slow down and be like, okay, yeah, we're friends. What does that mean to you, dude? What does it mean to you? Because it doesn't probably mean what it means to me, that I will take care of you to the best of my abilities. But you're not a wife, you're a friend, right? And you're not a stranger either. So you get to be between someone taking care of you and someone taking care of themselves as a friend. Now, as a partner, both people are supposed to be taking care of themselves and of each other, but also taking care of the steps to work toward that goal, right? Now, if you are in a position, friend, lover, acquaintance, with someone or something that you find toxic and detestable, why do it? Why do it? And there's a couple logical reasons to walk and wade through the waters of misery, right? Perhaps no shame if this is your life. Perhaps sex is what's in it for you. That's not what's in it for me. I mean, everybody has those body parts. So it's not as special as you think it. The emotional and intimate connection would be what's in it for me, but maybe that's different for you. Maybe that's what's in it for you, and all of the violent toxicity and verbal abuse and hatred and lists upon lists of shit is worth it to you to get your vagina wet. Maybe. But notice that's your goal. Now, me, that's the other way around. I ain't got time for any of that shit. I invest for a time. I will deal with drama and problems for a time. I will deal with insults or whatever for a time. But I am smart. Just as much as I feel, I think. And if you are not fitting my business, my goals, if you are not a part of, a partner, if you are not being friendly, if you don't fit into my picture, you simply don't fit in. I don't have to fucking hate you that you're different, with different lifestyle choices, different feelings, different thoughts, different religions, different anything. I can appreciate that flower. It can stay right over there on the ground and do its own shit all by itself or with other flowers of similar design. Right? Instead, most people, they leech. They leech. You're happy. They don't have that for themselves, so they need that shit. They need a little bit of that light. I get comments like people love my goofy monster photos. Make it seem way geekier than the drinks actually do, but I'll make a crazy face and be all lit up. And I'll take a picture. And the reason why these pictures are so popular is because people get to see someone be delightful, people having a good time, people sharing a smile and a laugh, instead of that common thing they're fucking used to. Drama, lists of garbage, negative focus. Check out this garden. Yeah, but there's dog shit on the ground. As we've discussed in the past. So if the friend, the lover, the person, what have you, the circumstance in your life, is the dog shit, why are you sticking around? There's a whole fucking world to explore, all kinds of people, all kinds of shit to do. But you'd rather think that you're in love with all this. That you're friends with all this, that you, oh man. Except for when you're not. How is this working for you? Now, since I've safeguarded my immunity, it's a word we use in Satanism to mean we've learned to behave better about our emotions and how we channel them and what we apply them to and what we don't, yada. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't care or that I don't love. What that means is I have to remember, no matter how I feel, no matter how intense, even while it's going down, that I also have a brain that has to make decisions to take care of my health and my circumstances, right? If it is nothing but a drain, if it's nothing but toxicity, if I'm the beast at the end of the day, no matter what it is I've given to you to serve as the contrary, then I have to acknowledge the simple fact that is unfact, but equally fact, that you feel and think that way, and that there is no showing you anything else. You have already made up your mind. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. You've already decided to look for a monster. Look for a beast. Look for an argument. Look for a disagreement. You like that? Look for a bit, don't you? You know, if I give you a paragraph or even a simple sentence, right? And there's a word in that sentence that can be translated into 5 different ways, because words are fun like that. And you didn't take a second to think about all the surrounding information like taught in grade school. If you don't know a word, read the surrounding shit for context clues and you might now know the word. So, if for some reason you skipped all those early years of your life on how we use speech, and you translate everything into pain and misfortune. It seems to me you're looking for the next thing to be upset about because you're coming from a place, not of mind, but of heart, a place of upset, a place of emotion. You were triggered one day, or you were post-traumatically affected by something in your past, which is not here in the now. It's not the future that hasn't happened yet with or around this person or thing. It's not the here and the now, but it's the past of things that have already been done. And in a way, that addiction comes in because we get to try to relive the past for absolutely no other reason than the fact that it's familiar and it's what we know. We know pain and suffering quite well, don't we? How often is happiness just dished out so freely, like I might try to offer to you? You might be suspect of that. That might be a little weird. Why is this cat being nice to me? Why is he giving to me? This is a little strange. But you look for, out of the whole paragraph, one little word to tweak into a monumentally different fucking meaning. Oh, are you calling me boring now? Did the fuck bitch did I say that? No, I did not. Read again. But you can't talk like that, of course, back to the person, because now you are joining them in their toxic cesspool. But did I say those things? Very rarely so. I very rarely even have to insult people, because they'll do it to themselves. And this is a good point. Out of the whole meaning, out of the entire paragraph of all of this positive shit that I might have to say, you find one little area that's even possible to come up with a new meaning for, twist and pervert the message to fit your narrative and your emotions of being fucking miserable and making the world a part of your misery. And then they must be the reason for it, right? Now you have something to focus on, something to attack, because all the while the vampire won't look at her own reflection, won't look at his own reflection. It must be therefore I feel this way. I'm fine when I'm alone. Because there's no rules and variables when you're alone. When you go out into the world, now we're us instead of me. Which brings back to the first point. If you're unhappy, why the fuck are you doing it? Why spend time around that toxic bullshit? Why spend time around that person, that friend, that item, that thing? If it doesn't bring you joy, why are you returning to it and expecting a different result? Were we not taught as kids that that's the definition of insanity? Although it isn't how it's written in the dictionary, for real, but that repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a different result than the result you got every other time is insane. So what are you doing? Now, I'm addicted myself to knowledge, to perspective, to studying and sifting through these little tiny shards of glass called sand to find the hidden relics and gems and buried treasures of past information in its many facets and representations. Fractals. So I might be an evil scientist in a way. I might find it utterly fascinating that you can choose to go in between the two poles, bipolar, that you can choose to love and hate, and so flippantly juggle in between them, like just blown by the wind wherever it goes, you know. I might find that extremely fascinating, even if it is difficult. I might not need to rip the flower out the ground or kill it with weed killer, you know, to be able to think that, oh, something's different from me. That's still pretty fascinating. In fact, if I do love and care for myself, the very fact that you're different allows me to appreciate myself more, doesn't it? Technically. So there's a method to why I might spend time around things that are uncomfortable for me. But I doubt very seriously that the majority of people are looking at it that way, that they're learning all this constantly, even if it's difficult and rough right now, or fast. You know, most people just barely crawl an inch along. So why would you, if the person in your life is an enemy yourself, though, you know, without, because you probably don't have that logic, why would you choose to keep returning to it? If you're going to blame person Y for being the root of all of your problems, by the way, problems and emotions that exist within you, thoughts that exist within you, your stuff, that belongs to you, no one else. When he's gone, she's gone, and you think and repeat those same feelings and thoughts, can you still blame them? It's impossible. They're not around to be influencing you anymore. That means you're influencing you. So if this person, and you really believe this, if this person is this whole list of reasons to hate, reasons to be unhappy, reasons to frown, reasons to question your insanity, words like gaslighting or anything like this that we might invent on why we can't just sever the cord in our codependent stupidities, you know, if this is the person, they're the reason you did this. Because of you. And you said this, so I acted like that. And we all have excuses, don't we? Isn't it lovely? If it's them, solve the fucking problem, bro. Get rid of it. Get rid of the person. Get rid of the distraction. Get rid of whatever it is that is a fucking barrier, a block. This is the road I'm trying to travel, and here's this fucking dead fucking end. And I keep traveling down the same roads to get to the destination, but I keep meeting the brick wall. How can I expect to get to this place I'm trying to go to if I keep taking all the same familiar, painful or not paths to meet up with the wall again, as if it's the wall's fault, when it's been in the same fucking spot the whole time, right? Because it's the problem. That's them. They're going to be them regardless. You're superior, you're better, you're smarter, you're wiser, aren't you? So, something to think about. I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun in life. I have a lot of struggle in life. And I'm going to willingly struggle some more with lots of fun people. They're struggling. I'll carpool with you for a time. But at some point, get rid of me. Or accept me. Same thing for everybody and everything else in your life. The war that you have, there's a big moral here. The war that you have isn't with the world. It's with you. Someone else would be perfectly fine in that argument, that position, that discord. So the war that you have is with you. You're just finding ways to show other people that you're unhappy. Remember, they're too good, right? Like, they're wrong. So if they're already wrong, that can't be helped. And what do you show? How can I be wrong too? Someone yells at you, you yell back. Oh, we're so smart. Brick wall. Someone says a swear word and gives you an insult, you got insult back. Genius. Genius stuff. Brick wall. Swear words the wall. Let's drive around it. List of complaints is the wall. Let's drive around it. Now, I have a unique set of skills. This person on my mind right now. That's a third of the inspiration for this video. I'm just going to navigate around the nonsense. I don't have to judge, condemn, hate, fight, argue. You can. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to hear all your insecure projections and post-traumatic stress and codependency and abandonment issues and father issues and whatever else that you've probably also literally told me, even if you didn't. I'm going to notice. And I'm just going to sit here and wait. Eventually, you'll be done. You'll detox all your negativity pointed at me that I'm supposed to absorb. It's everybody else's fault, the entire rest of the world. I've even heard people talk like that. The rest of the world does it blank, Kevin. You know the rest of the world, personally, that's silly. And maybe they don't. But I'm not the rest of the world by the same regard. So, I'll sit here while people make a fool of themselves. Every now and then I'll pull into it. It is fun to argue. Addictions, right? Familiarity, right? But for the most part, I'm going to let you think what you want to think. There's no proving you wrong. You can't show an angel to someone looking for demons. You can't show joy to someone looking for stress and anxiety and turmoil and pain and suffering. And what is wrong with what he has to say instead of what is right with what he has to say. You can't show him anything else. So do you defend? Do you get defensive? Do you get offensive? Do you continue to explain and then explain your explanations and then explain your explanations to an unwilling ear? For those who have the ears, let them hear. For those who have the ears to hear. For those who have the eyes to see, let them see. But for those who don't, how often do you repeat? How many hours, minutes, seconds of the day do you take to explain to someone who doesn't want to know, or they would have taken the personal interest in their life to go after that bit of knowledge anyway, without your input at all? You know, whether it be about you, by personally observing you, or about something else that you could argue that's meaningless, that regular humans find literally in an argument. Googled it as a thing. It's literally meaningless. If they wanted to know things, they would have known. So defensiveness, in a way, is trying to educate someone against their will. If you're in the right, provided. If you're defensive, you're emotionally insecure, for one, but you're trying to educate someone else on something that they don't want to learn. That's what that is. I ain't got the time that most people have to spend every day of my life fucking talking. Every day of my fucking life repeating shit that people already know. While at the same time, what, I'm supposed to feel good that you think I'm a monster, you need my help, ask me questions, come to me, and then somehow I'm a bad guy for doing every little thing that you've ever wanted? That's fucking silly, dude. That's why I just turn on the next channel. You can talk to the wall while you're mad at me. I'm gonna make this omelet. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna listen to music. I'm gonna smile. You can sad. You can frown. You can angry. Why are you here? I'd love to ask people that so much. What does friend mean to you? What does love mean to you? Why are you here? You seem to have a lot of problems with these things that you're willingly grabbing onto. What the fuck? What are you doing, dude? What the fuck are you doing? It's just some shit on my mind. Doesn't take as much effort as you'd think to rant. I got a pretty good focused mind. Great processor, you know. While I'm eating, talk about shit. See, the problem for me, one of the reasons why this is reoccurring thoughts, because the experiences don't hurt as much anymore, obviously. But the problem with me is self-condemnation, I suppose. Like, if I do what's required to take care of myself, 100% I mean, and, be all Borg, be all robot, do entirely business-oriented, entirely. Don't spend time around any of these evil assholes. Don't waste time. Don't waste breath. I'd get a lot done. I wouldn't be slowing down to meet these people. But I'd ultimately also feel like an asshole because of the level I'd have to reject all these little things. So I do the silence thing and just let people be mad and stuff instead. Because, one, you're turning off opportunities. The trade-off is letting somebody else be angry and you don't have to join in if you can control yourself. But I don't want to just dismiss every single person just about from my life because they don't have their shit together. I want to love them anyway. I know that it took time for me to get to this place, so it's going to take time for them to get to this place. Good stuff, right? Are you jealous of my Arby's fries? Yeah, you are. So, Kevin Chaos. Fry away, my friends. Peace.